Hey guys, this is Oshi from Tiny Dragon Tarot, and this is going to be our December pick a card. And I'm sorry I have to use my artificial lighting because it's just too rainy outside and there's not enough lights. But hopefully there's gonna be, there won't be, there won't be too much glare. But if it happens, I will try to show you the cards in a way that you can see them. I decided to do, the December readings as a pick a card because I kind of feel like that we often don't know enough, or maybe, this is just my experience and I'm projecting, but we often don't know enough about our astrological signs and which placement is more important, or which is more influential in a certain month or period of time. And we just, we don't necessarily find the readings that way. And I really like doing, readings for you guys. And I decided to just go ahead and do it in a pick a card form, because that way your intuition will show you, where you need to go, which message you need to hear. But I also pulled a few astrological cards from the Heaven and Earth, no, Heavenly Bodies, that's a different deck, astrological deck. I have the guidebook with me because, if something comes up and I want to check, I want to be able to do that. But that's the main reason why I'm doing it in a pick a card style. But I'm very excited for this reading. I don't know why, but I already shuffled the cards yesterday. I couldn't wait to be able to film this one, so I'm quite curious what the messages are, and who will these messages are meant for, because I kind of feel like there's something buzzing going on. I'm feeling very energetic, even though I'm sick, so there's something going on. But we have 3 pies with bows and stars, because let's get into the holiday spirit, so to speak. So pile number 1 is this one with the red bow and a red and the green little origami star. So that's your option for pile number 1. For pile number 2, we have this silver bow, a cream and a golden colored little star. And for pile 3, we have a smaller blue bow and a black and a yellow star. So choose according to, your intuition, the numbers, the bows, the stars, whatever. And I'm wearing my, rainbow colored ring as a, I don't know, just getting into the festive glitter shiny mood. So yeah, choose a pile and see you in your reading. Hello, pile number 1. If you chose this red bow or these tiny stars, let's put them here, and this is going to be your reading. Okay, I hope you can see the little elf. So there's a few cards that I pulled intentionally regarding emotions and finances and whatnot, but we will see what comes up. And let's start with the not so heavy, hopefully, pile, the financial career or studies and stuff like that. We have the peace, which is always good. So hopefully the end of the year, the last month, is gonna be peaceful at your workplace or your school. If you work in retail, that's maybe not the case for your workplace, but it highlights the fact that you need to do something to protect yourself, because if you look at this card, this person, oh, the glare, has a protective orb around them. So if your workplace is very, very busy because you, for example, work in retail, this card highlights that do something that works, that will protect your state of mind. It can be, if you know crystals and you wear them, wear something that will ease your anxiety. I'm not a crystal expert, unfortunately, but I know that for me labradorite works. So if you have a piece of labradorite, doesn't have to be a necklace or jewelry, you can just put it in your pocket and be in your aura, and that will help you. I like to wear it on me when I'm feeling stressed. But yeah, so like I said, it's two-way. Either you're entering a more peaceful time of year because it's the end and you're done with most of what you had to do. I know that some companies, has an early yearly closing, and after that there's a slower period before the new year start. So that could also be true, but it's very important, to protect your peace of mind, your inner calm. And yeah, it's a same old cliche, but meditate. And meditation doesn't have to be sitting down and just staring into a flame for 10 minutes and emptying your mind. That's awesome if it works for you, but it also can be listening to guided meditation. YouTube has a lot of great meditation pages or whatever accounts. I use the Great Meditations. That's their YouTube username. They upload 10 minutes and 15 minutes long meditations. They are guided because for me that works the best. Otherwise, my mind starts to wonder if I just listen to music or whatever. So I like guided meditations. That helps me relax a lot more. So you can try that one out. But some people find it when they are outside in nature, that what calms them down. So if you have access to a peaceful place outside of your home, try visit it as much as you can, of course, because we have also the extremes, and the extremes with the hot moon is so these two definitely match together. It talks about it's the extremes, overdoing something to an extent that it has a negative effect on your life. Because on this picture there's a really hot moon, and there's a person who's sweating like crazy, and even though there's a glass of ice water here and the books that they probably were reading, they can't sleep, they don't even drink, they don't take care of their body enough, and they overdo something. And that's just not, we can't exist in the extremes. We have to be in this more balanced, peaceful state. And it's very easy to jump into one of the extremes and not think about the consequences. Because, for example, if you, like I said, if you work in retail, for example, that's the easiest, I think, because that's the most busiest this time around, job area, or career or workplace or whatever. When you know that there's a lot that you have to do, especially if you're self-employed and you have to take care of everything, obviously you're not going to be like, oh, I'm going to take a nap because I know that my body needs that, when you know that there's orders to be filled and paperwork to be taken care of. And I'm not saying to slack off, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't feel the pressure and you shouldn't do the best that you can, but when you have some free time, be sure to do something that would tip the scale back a bit, so you don't end up exhausted and just burnt out by the end of December, because that could very well happen. Try to stay in this more calmer place. And let's see some advice for that. Oh, I knew that this deck would glare like crazy, so you know what, we're gonna start here, because I wanted to put a lot of cards on the table, but we're gonna dance around the light in this reading. So we have the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Cups is also an offer. And because we have the hot moon and extremes, it could talk about even though it's more about right now, more talking about work, it can be an offer. So maybe there's a new job or new opportunity that you kind of feel like it's too good to be true, because this night usually is the one that will sweep you off your feet, will promise you everything so that they can spend some time with you. But in this case, this opportunity, might just be something that, you fantasize about taking for a while, but then reality checks in and you are like, okay, but I can't take care of myself, or I can't do what I want if I accept it. So I'm feeling more of this is an offer that will test your what's the word, your commitment to your current job. For some, it can mean a better offer than what you have currently, because you might work in a place that you absolutely don't like and you wish you could get away. So there could be an offer that will just be so good, and you really want to move out from this place to the new one. In this case, if you know that what you're leaving behind is definitely worse than what you're entering, go for it. But in other cases, just be mindful that you don't know what's in this cup. It could be a glass of ice water that you desperately need, or it could be just alcohol that will just push you into a state where you can't really make an informed decision. Especially because we have the King of Pentacles as well, and the Six of Cups. Okay, I'm still in frame, right? Cool. The King of Pentacles. I'm getting two types of messages with this one. Because for some, this offer can lead to, to this King of Pentacles state where you're financially stable, you're grounded, you find your peace, that bubble, and you're able to stay there. This is a much better job, a much better place to be at. It can even be a promotion for some, where you can, with the Six of Cups, you can, I'm kind of getting, it's gonna sound weird, but I'm kind of getting that you're able to provide not for your children necessarily, but for some, I don't know, maybe a charity you would like to give back to. Even though this is not the Six of Pentacles, but I still get that feeling from this one. But for some, that I said that this offer might be too good to be true and you shouldn't, it still could lead to a good financial state. But for those people who are hesitant to leave behind, even if, your job is hard, but you're hesitant to leave it behind or to look for somewhere else, it could be that even though you get that promotion, you get a new job or new opportunity, it doesn't even have to be a job, a main job. It could be something that you do on the side, but you will think back to your old one, and you will have nostalgia towards that, because you will be like, but I really enjoyed myself being there. So the main advice for anything job and work related for this month for you is, if you have an offer, think very carefully what you do with it, because once you make that decision, you can't go back. And like I said, it can lead to a better financial place than you are in currently, but you have to know what you are able and willing to pay for that position or that new job. you know, if it's good for you, it's good for you. You will know. I mean, it's a general reading, so I'm trying to cover everything that I see. Okay, so that was the career, work, whatever kind of a feeling. Let's get into the more emotional part. So the main area that you need to work on for this, let's put this here. Hopefully this doesn't glare because it's matte. Is trust. So you have to work on trusting people, which I'm assuming is not that, you know, easy for you. Or maybe you need to, you know, the trust that you need to work on is that you can allow yourself to enjoy life. Or that, you know, if this is about a person, that they will bring pleasure, can be physical, into your life, or it can be someone who will draw you out of your protective bubble, but in a good way, you know, from this one, because they will not use the opportunity that you let them in for hurting you, but they will open your world up. That's what I'm getting. You know, they will show you new wonderful adventures in a way, and it could be actual adventures when you go out and you spend time with people, new people that you meet. And because I kind of get, you know, that you need to do, because of the trust, I'm getting this is a new person, because the people you already have in your life, you're hopefully trusting. But you know, if you have people in your life that are trying to reach out and they're trying to show you new ways of life, you need to work on trusting them as well. Or, you know, just check why you're not trusting. But we also have the in progress. I'm gonna put it over here, even though you can't see the whole card, but you see enough. Oh, we have unrequited. So if it's all about, you know, relationships, then I'm kind of getting a feeling with the trust that you're in progress of learning how to trust people, because you experienced a lot of unrequited feelings. It doesn't have to be love necessarily, even though this is the, you know, emotional love part of the reading. So I'm gonna say it's more about love. Maybe you fell for people too often that were unavailable for some reason, and when someone who would offer you pleasure in a very actual way, and like I said, it doesn't have to be physical pleasure, it can be just the pleasure of a good conversation, you're hesitant to trust them because you experienced a lot of rejection in the past. But you need to work on, you know, because, and you're working on it, because we have the in progress card here. This relationship is in progress, and your trust, you know, learning how to trust them is in progress. And if you don't know anyone who, you know, fits this category, then they're gonna come in December. There's a chance for them to come in. So let's see the tarot cards. We have the moon. Okay, I'm gonna check if there's no nudity in these cards, because I forgot to say that in this deck there's nudity. But with the moon, I think it's definitely, it ties into quite nicely, because the moon card can talk about fears and, you know, not knowing something, and because we don't know what's coming or who this person is and what they are offering, we're not trusting them, you know, for obvious reasons. Like I said, past experiences, or just how the world works sometimes, unfortunately. But look at that. We have the King of Wands, and with the Queen of Wands. So it's definitely an equal relationship. It doesn't, you know, it's not gender specific. It's just the two sides of one coin. and it's very passionate. So for some of you, it's definitely talking about a physical relationship where you can, experience something very creative and very inspiring and very passionate in a physical sense. And the last card is justice, and with justice I definitely think that if you let this one a chance, let this person, let this relationship a chance, you can learn something about yourself. You can because this is justice, and justice is all about being fair. You can pretty much learn how to be more fair with other people, because you will see that even if they are different, and they might doesn't don't they might communicate in a way that you don't understand them immediately, that doesn't mean necessarily that they are horrible people. It just means that they are different and you can trust them. And whoever this person is definitely your equal. And because we have fire signs here, fire signs, Leo and Aries. Yes, Leo and Aries could be. You could be, or them. They can be Leo or Aries. That could be important. But let's check the last two cards. We have the House of 8, transformation, karma, facing fears and legacies. Like I said, facing fears with the moon, the in progress. It's transformation. You're gonna get a good chance for transform your love life, pretty much. Who you not who you find attractive, because that's it's a basic 3D physical biological thing, but you will realize that why you fell for people before that were not available. You can identify those areas where you are intentionally going for something that's not working for you, even though it's it's in your subconscious, but in a way it's intentional because your mind is trying to protect you. But we also have conjunction. I hope you can see that, because it's a very, very light card. A union, merging and coming together. I mean, with these two, it's amazing. So yes, you can transform your love life. And by love life, I definitely mean that what you're working on, what's in progress, is how you view yourself, how you treat relationships, and how you treat yourself in a relationship. Because everything starts with yourself. You have to work on that, because you can't work on other people. That's their thing to do. But whoever is trying to come in is an equal part person. They are equally, they're equal. I'm not gonna try to point out where this equality is. It doesn't mean that they're the same, because being equal is not the same. That would be kind of counteractive. What's the word? Whatever. For us. But I mean that they bring in equal respect, equal effort into the relationship. With the justice, I definitely feel like that this scale, this balance is what they can offer. Definitely not this unrequited, unbalanced place. So yeah, this is your December. It's quite exciting, and I hope that's bring you, that when this person comes, you will be able to see and realize and use this opportunity, because it looks like such a wonderful opportunity to find an actual really good relationship. And if you're in a relationship, then you can find a way to level up and trust that person, so you can reach this place. Because there's always a work in relationship as well, and then you can find that place where you will be your true equal. which I think is wonderful. But yeah, this was your reading. Hope this is useful. And I know this is longer than my usual ones, but I'm quite enjoying these ones. So hopefully these are useful as well. Please like, subscribe, comment down below which one resonated, which part resonated, which do you maybe need some additional messages on, because if I see something I can say something. And yeah, see you in the next one. Bye. Hi group 2. I couldn't say your group's number for like 4 times. I don't know why. So let's take a note of number 2. There could be something over there, with number 2. I don't know. I have that tattooed here, so I don't know. So if you chose this silver bow or the little gold and cream colored, I don't even know if you can see that this is cream, but it is star, and this is going to be your reading. So how I did the last one, this is how I'm gonna do this one as well. First we're gonna look into career and work and study and all that with these cards, and then we're gonna check love, emotional state. So let's start. We have attraction, which immediately makes me think about you need to be very intentional about what you attract, what you're trying to attract into your life. So if you're not happy where you are at your workplace or in your school or what else, how you earn money or what you do for a living currently, get a notepad, make notes, get clear about your wording, what you want, and come up with a mantra that you can tell yourself every time you wake up. Get a sentence that is positive. Look into how you're supposed to word these things, because there's a lot of people who talk about what you shouldn't do when you're trying to manifest things. Wording is very important. You're supposed to say it in a way that it already happened. I think it's already either past or in the present tense. You're not supposed to use negative sentences, so don't say like I want a new job where I don't feel how I feel in my current one, because that's not a good way to open up possibilities, because you have to be concrete, but you have to be vague enough for the universe to be able to send you something that you actually really need. Because most often we think we want something and that would be good for us, but it's not actually true. So if you work with the universe can be like, okay, I got it. You want a fulfilling life where you have enough free time, you're able to provide for yourself, and you're happy. And in this sentence, and you word it like, I have a life where I feel fulfilled, I have enough free time where I can enjoy my hobbies, and I can easily provide for myself with a job that I enjoy. I think that's a safe sentence. But with that sentence, you don't say, I want to be a regional manager in the local shopping center, even though that's what you think it would provide you with all these benefits. And if you work with a sentence like what I gave you as an example, the universe can look around and be like, okay, there's that job at the regional manager position, but we see something else in the town next to yours, which has better pay, better people to work with, more free time, even though you have to travel, but for some reason you can I don't know, during your traveling time you're gonna be able to listen to podcasts that will give to your day, or something like that. So try not to limit yourself with being too specific. That's what I'm trying to say, but hopefully with the example that is useful. And we have power, amazing. Okay, we had a super moon and a full moon, by the way. So when the full moon is coming up, which I'm gonna check actually, because I should be able to tell you when the next full moon is. Okay, there's a new moon on the 4th, of December, so the full moon is on the 19th, which is in the middle of December. This is where your manifestation really should, by that time, come up with how you want to manifest, because you will be able to use that. Do a full moon ritual if you haven't done anything like that before. Look it up. It's not that difficult. Even if you don't believe in, all those things, what can you, lose if you try to, give it a chance? Nothing. So, like I said, full moon, you're gonna be such a power to attract what you want, that it would be kind of sad to miss out on, to be honest. So make a note that the 19th is a very important number. We have 8, the 44, and the 16, the 8, and the 7 as well. And the 8, it reminds me of strength. So yeah, the 7, this Chariot, so moving forward as well with power. I like that one as well. Okay, let's see the tarot cards. Okay. What did I just say? The Chariot. And I swear to God, I know you can't see me, but I have my cards intentionally this way in my hand, so I'm not looking at the cards. I'm only looking at the cards one by one, because for me that works better. And yeah, the Chariot, God, I love that it happens like that. Yes, you will be able to move forward because you will have an intention, you will have a clear goal. Because if you do what I suggested in the first 4 minutes of your reading, you get very clear about your plans. And you don't have to do that on a spiritual level, but I always think that even if you don't believe that the universe is actually a creative and what's the word? Creative force, maybe, you're not losing anything if you try to, if you give it a chance. But on a basic level, if you get that right, get that out of your system into a paper, and you will be able to see what you really want, you will be able to move forward with clarity. You will know what sort of a job you need to look for, as even, or not even, especially if you're coming out of school, or you just entered school. Because if you're starting, for example, this is your first year in high school or in university, you might think that of work, or who cares, I need to get through school first. And that, yes, of course, that's true. But if you set clear goals, that what you want to achieve with your diploma, it's going to be much easier to find a job afterwards. And you can realize it in time that if you're not exactly where you're supposed to be, but you will be able to move forward with a lot more power, which is amazing. I just love this. Okay, and the next one is the Empress. Great. With the power card, definitely see the connection over there as well, because the Empress, and it's not gender specific, it's just the energy. The Empress energy is a very creative one. It's in a way independent, because it's someone who knows what they want. They're willing to work for it, and they're not gonna wait for other people to step in and do the job for them. And oftentimes, the Empress is pregnant, and I like my Empress is pregnant, because that signifies that when a woman is, or yeah, I think we're still okay to say that, but if not, then I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be insensitive, but when a woman is pregnant, or someone is pregnant, they are creating life. And yes, they need the sperm. I'm not gonna just say that that's they do that on their own. Sometimes it happens, but the creation of life itself is something that two people do together, but the nurturing, the protecting, the growing of it is a one person job for 9 months. And this energy is all about that 9-month energy when you're like, this is mine, this is very important for me, and I'm gonna freaking protect it. And it doesn't have to be and I don't think this is about a baby, because this is about work and whatever, school. It's more about finding those clear goals and protecting and nurturing them, And the Empress is looking back at the Chariot, is like, are you coming? Are you coming? Are you doing your part? Which I really like. Oh God, neighbors. So we have the Hierophant as well, which is interesting. Because we also have the Ten of Swords. And yeah, I kind of feel like the Hierophant is talking about all the obstacles that you can run into. Yeah, I don't know if you can. I'm gonna move it here so you can see the new ones better. Because as you can see, the Ten of Swords is not a place where you want to be. It's very uncomfortable. It's very restricted. It's just a horrible place to be. But I feel like this is just how things can turn out if you let this Hierophant energy stop you from, going after what you want. Because I feel like, the Empress and the Chariot is moving forward. And the Empress is like, okay, come on, Chariot, protect me. Because this Chariot, is wearing this armor. And the Hierophant is often symbolizing a structure, a societal structure that can be very protective. It can give you support. But these days, because, it's connected to the church, but it doesn't have to be anything religious. It's just an easy example to give that these days, unfortunately, religion is something that restricts a lot of people. But in this case, it can be a big corporation, an institute, that would, just be like, hey, we don't like creative and individualistic people at our place, and we want you to just please God stop, because if you do that, our structure could crumble, and we don't want that. And we want you to feel, we rather want you to feel this way, because we don't care how you feel, eh? And if you stay in lane, we're good. We don't care how you feel afterwards. So this is more about a reminder that if you get your plans moving, don't stop at obstacles. Don't let other people, outside forces, stop you and tell you how you're supposed to live your life, because your life is yours and it's important. You need to step up and nurture and create and protect it. And you will be able to move towards them. And that's why I said you need to stay intentionally vague about how you word your manifestation or your plans, because if you're getting too specific, for example, with that regional manager job, the corporation can step up and say that, oh, we see that you're trying to do something new with that position, but we don't like that, so you should stop, and then you will just feel horrible at the end. But this is just I think it's more for the warning that you don't want to end up here. You want to stay in power and be this Empress energy, this creative, this amazing badass energy. So yeah, be main advice, get clear on your plans so you can actually attract something that you really truly want. And let's see what the emotional part of the reading is. You have 2 cards in the... Okay, we have unworthiness, what you need to work on. Unworthiness and validation. So your sense of worth might come from the outside with these 2 especially together. And yeah, that's never a good thing, because unfortunately when you're looking for validation from the outside, and not from the inside, this is where you can end up in that 10 of Swords place, because the institute or the school or the workplace or other people that you want to recognize that you're that badass empress energy are not going to, because for some reason whatever you want to do is goes against what they want from you. And it can be soul crushing, I'm not gonna lie, when we don't feel appreciated. But that's why you can work on. And if you look at that, we have the new beginning. So if you do the work for the whole month, you will have that new beginning with passion. And with passion can talk about, because this is the love reading part of the month, this can also talk about a new relationship. But if not, then it's talking about a new beginning in how you look at yourself. Because if you go through who you are, what you want, you will have a better understanding why you're doing the things you do, and you can find that passion that will move you forward to this new beginning. You don't know where you're going, but if you have passion with you, that will help you take these steps and go up and up and reach your goals. Oh, I love that. We also have potential. And for some of you, this definitely can talk about a physical relationship, and there's a potential for getting pregnant. I'm just saying, so if you're in that position, be sure to deal with this information in a way you want to. And by that I mean, if you want to get pregnant, then go for it. If you don't, then do everything to protect yourself. Yeah, because we had that Empress, because that can mean pregnancy, just in case. But let's see the first tarot card. But potential new beginning, it's amazing. We have the Two of Swords. You have a choice that you need to make. And I really do feel that for you, the 2 part of the reading connects better and more than the first pile, because you will reach, once you start changing around your life, you will reach a point where you have to choose between the previous way you lived your life and the new way you want to live your life. You have to choose between people you had in your life who are not understanding what you're doing, and they're not able to support you in a way that you want. Not necessarily, not because they don't love you, because they don't understand what you're doing, because you're doing something different than you did before. You're going against tradition with that Hierophant card, and they're not gonna give you, they're not gonna help you feel worthy, or not gonna help you feel validated, because they just don't see what this new beginning, what this potential is all about. But it's not their job, it's yours. You have to be sure about your plans, your ideas of yourself. And if you have that, then the rest is not important. We also have the Knight of Swords, and I like that, because once you make that choice, that can be a simple choice of choosing your opinion about yourself and your plans over other people's opinion. And this might sound a basic thing for some people, but for a lot of people it's not as easy, because they're used to getting their validation from the outside. But I love that. We have the Ten of Pentacles, which is it's stability in the financial area, but it's when we are talking about love and emotions, it's the more stable place of getting everything you wanted, and it's about legacy, you know, continuation, creating a life where you create your legacy as well. And obviously it's, you know, financially and emotionally stable, which is great. And I love that because we have Judgment as the last one. Look at how beautiful her hair is. And I love that, you know, she looks different because she has purple hair. And the Judgment card is, it's not about, you know, being judged, not just about being judged, but being judged by yourself. Because you could traditionally read it as being judged by other people, but I don't, you know, care for that reading. For me, this is the leveling up card. This is a place that you reach when you worked on yourself, and you faced your past mistakes and the past ways how you handled yourself, and you learned the lesson there, and you integrate your shadow self, and you're able to build on those previous experiences, admit and accept that you made mistakes, but be proud and you know, happy for who you are, because all of the past experiences are the ones that led you to this new beginning with the potential, where you make a choice and you start moving towards this new life, a new way of thinking. And it doesn't have to be immediately such a big thing that, you know, you get a new job or you move away. It can just, in a very air quote way, adjust a way, a shift of way how you look at yourself, because that's where the change starts from. Because we have, you know, the source, the area of intellect. This is where you need to make that shift. But there is, you know, potential for that change, like really there is a new beginning here as well. So yeah, this is your reading. I really like that, because you're coming from this unworthy validation looking state to a state where you're a badass empress who doesn't need other people's, you know, approval anymore, because they know what they want and they are passionate about life, and they move forward with that passion. Okay, sorry about that. I completely forgot to, you know, add your astrological signs or cards. So I'm gonna insert this before the ending. So yeah, sorry about that, but I didn't want to leave you out. So we have the mutable sign with surrender, fluidity, and the welcoming change. So this is definitely ties into the Two of Swords. You have to be open to, you know, receive change, to allow life to give you that opportunity. We also have the House of 10, which, you know, is the 10 of Pentacles. Because this is structure, discipline, life, mission, legacy, accomplishments, and career. So this is definitely, you know, connecting to that one. And, you know, whatever I said about the 10 of Pentacles, but we also have the House of 9, the spiritual growth, and that ties beautifully in with the Judgment, because everything that's coming and everything that was, you know, offered to you if you take the chance is all about this growth that you can experience here in the 9th house. So yeah, sorry about this rushed addition, but hopefully, you know, it's not too annoying, and yeah, I think it was important. So I'm gonna cut it to the ending now. Okay, so this was your reading. Hope this was useful. Please comment down below how it resonated, like this video, subscribe, and share it with other people if you think this is useful. That helps my channel a lot. If you like, you know, my oracle cards. This is my new oracle deck. Please look down in the description. You can find a way to get it. And yeah, see you in the next one. Thank you so much for being here. Bye. Hello, pile number 3. If you chose this blue bow, let's put it over here, or a yellow or the black star, then this is going to be your reading. It's a very interesting color combination, but I didn't want it to go just with how I look at colors. So how we're gonna do this, we're gonna, oh, you have 4 cards. Oh, okay. First we're gonna look at your career, your job, your studies and stuff like that, and then we're gonna look at the emotional and love part of this month. So your first card is release, and with this one, because we're getting, we're talking about work and studies and the things you need to do to take care of yourself, to provide yourself. With release, I'm kind of getting that you need to work on letting stress go, for sure. Stress and dealing with stress is one thing that you need to let go, but I'm kind of getting a feeling that you need to let go of expectations that are not real, not grounded, or not coming from a place of your higher self or your higher, better being. Because you might have expectations towards your work or how your studies should go, and those expectations are unfounded and they are not they're not valid, and I'm not saying that you should settle for something that you don't like, but you should let go of the expectation that things will change, because sorry to be so blunt, but shit won't transform into a moon. So if you are in a place that you don't like, you need to let go of the expectation that things will change for the better, because if they didn't so far, they're not going to. If you don't like what you're studying, finishing school won't, magically transform you into a state where you love your topic or major or whatever you're studying. So this is a reminder to take a hard look at what you're expecting from the place where you are at currently, and see that if those expectations can be met or not. I have a feeling that they are not. So the main lesson is to work on releasing these expectations. But also, if you release expectations and you just let things to unfold naturally, something better can come in. You can transform, the butterflies can transform into the moon. You can transform into a higher sense of being or self. But you also have acceptance, and with this one, I feel like this is talking about, accepting the situation for what it is. And maybe your sense of calm can come from expecting that, or accepting that your job is not the best job, or your school is not the best school, but it's okay, and it's gonna serve that purpose that you assigned to it. It can be just like that as well. We have the 27, which is a 9, and that's a hermit energy, so it's definitely suggests to look inwards for those answers. Why you're expecting, what you're expecting from the place you're at. But we also have the 4, and that's the Emperor. And that's, a reminder that you are more capable than you think you are. You can be this creative force, and there's a lot of blue in these two, so blue might be a color you want to work with. And we have growth as well. And I like that because it's 2 things. if you let go of expectation and you release all these gripping fears and emotions that keep you in place, and you accept help from the universe and accept that you're a creative being, actual growth can, start happening. But we have a clock here, a pocket watch, and roots, and this is a reminder that real growth doesn't happen overnight. So you have to let go of the expectation that real, actual, valid change can happen overnight. You have to give the universe and yourself a chance to actually, let this change you want take place. Interesting. So let's see what the tarot cards are talking about. We have the Seven of Swords, which is talking about doing something behind other people's back, being sneaky, being an asshole. I'm sorry. And I don't necessarily feel like this is you. I more feel like, because we have the release card here, that there is someone, or it doesn't have to be a person, it can be just a situation that people are, working behind your back and they are not trustworthy, and you think that, they must be working for the common goal. For example, if you're working in a place that requires teamwork, you think that everybody's, working for that goal that was set for us, but set for all of you, because that's logical if you have to work together with other people. But someone is just thinking about themselves, and they would let that project fail if that would mean that they gonna get something out of it. So you have to be mindful who you trust in your work and your study space as well. Yeah, we have a King of Cups, which is a reminder that you have to, use your own intuitions, be sure and listen to your emotions, be in control of them. Because, the King of Cups is, it's not gender specific, it's just a more active side of this watery energy, which is which, water connects to emotions, but it also connects to creating something, with this one as well. Be this king who doesn't give a shit, about this person in the back, because they can, play with their swords and then accidentally, because the rope is, already started to whatever, it's gonna, fall down, they're gonna end up in a very not nice situation, because karma is a real thing, and karma is consequences for your actions. So what they're gonna do, they're gonna get their thing for it. It doesn't, you're not supposed to look at them, you're not supposed to even think about them. You're only supposed to work on your own thing. And we also have the Queen of Wands, so we have a counterpart, we have that two side of the story, because we have a more active, creative side of the cups, and we have the more receiving, more nurturing side of the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands is a passionate one. She likes to be in the limelight, she likes to be proud and, not giving a fuck, to be honest, attitude. That's what makes me think about her. And I think that this is where you're growing into. Like I said, no gender specific. It's not gender specific. It's just a state of being. This is the transformation that you can grow into this. I don't give a shit about what other people want. I know who I am. I know what I want, and I'm gonna start working with it. And if you're working in a workplace where you have to work with these type of people, after a while, your bosses and the people around you will recognize this power. and this self-confidence, and they will what's the word? I'll not promote you. I mean, you can get a promotion obviously, but they will. I'm struggling for words with this reading. It's just quite interesting. I didn't have that with the other two as much. I'm kind of feeling there's a blockage with communication, and I'm not sure it's the blockage is coming from you, because you know you're desperately trying to keep this change at bay. That could be the one. And in that case, this Seven of Swords person is you, because you're self-sabotaging like no tomorrow. Because you could be this person, this mesh of this king and this queen. But for some reason, and yeah, that makes sense, for some reason you're trying to unconsciously, I'm not saying you know what you're doing, but you're trying to keep these butterflies, you know, in your chest, so you don't want them to fly, because could be that you're afraid that you're changing into something that you don't know, and you don't know if other people will accept you for it. But I have a bad news for you. These butterflies wants to fly, they're gonna come out, and sooner or later everything is going to start happening. But if you go with the flow and with the process, it's gonna be less painful, it's gonna happen the way you want it to happen, and you will realize sooner that this is a good change and this is a change for you. And it could lead to you leaving wherever you are currently. Not necessarily, I don't see that happening in December. The change is going to start in December. You're going to realize something profound relating to your workplace or your school, or what you're, you know, doing to provide for yourself. And I get that, you know, there's fear that you're not going to be able to live your life the way you did before. But don't get discouraged, because growth takes time, but it's still happening. Okay, so let's see what the love part of this reading is all about. And I'm guessing yours might be the longest one. Okay, so firstly, what shadow aspect you can work? Attachment. What did I just say? I mean, this resonates so well with the previous one. You have to let go of, you know, expectation and attachment to how things are supposed to be. You know, how your life is supposed to look like, how the world is supposed to work, like how other people in your life supposed to function. You have to let that expectation go, or, you know, who you are to these people, and find your passion. Because passion is a beautiful thing, and it can be, because we're entering into the love section of the reading, this can be that you're in not in a relationship where you want to be. If you have someone, there might be problems where you can communicate what makes, you know, but you can't communicate your desires as clearly as you want. If you're of age, obviously, etc. Or you don't you think that you can't be as honest about what makes you passionate for this relationship, not just the physical part, but just the relationship on its own, as you require. And that fear from the previous one could be part of it, because you might think that, you know, if you change yourself and you let go of these previous ways of this relationship, or how you looked at yourself, just functions, you will lose everything. But this is a good transformation, even if it's a heavy one. Loneliness, not surprised. I mean, when you're feeling you're unable to communicate, if you're in a relationship, that can feel very lonely, or if you're not in a relationship, that can obviously feel very lonely. But we also have family, which is lovely because it is a reminder that it doesn't have to be your blood family, because not all the family is supportive one, and it can tie into the attachment part. Maybe you need to let go of how you look at your family, but they could also provide support. And we have reciprocity. Why did I say that so weird? And this is, in a relationship, highlights the importance of being equal and being not just receiving something from the other person, but being able to give as well. And I'm kind of feeling like if you're in a relationship, that you're more on the giving end of things. And because there's a communication issue, you don't know how to communicate what you actually really want. You might, because we have naivete as well, and it could be that you might not be as experienced in, not necessarily just relationships, but in life, or the area of love in general, that you don't know yet how an equal Two of Cups relationship actually looks like. And you go into this a bit naively, because you think that if even if it's you might think like that, things are not the best right now, but they gonna turn out later better. We're gonna be a family and everything is gonna change when we reach that place, or I'm gonna feel happier if I find someone and create a family that will solve all the problems that I'm feeling. But that's not how it works. Your loneliness is not going to disappear if the relationship is not built on reciprocity, because it has to be. You has to be able to get, not just give. Yeah, so let's see the tarot cards, or first let's see. Oh, we have delight. Nice. So the advice for how to deal with all these heavy things is just find happiness in the small things. If you're in a relationship, find and you want to keep that relationship, and you want to work on being an equal one, where you receive and you give and you coexist and you create something new together, find or focus on the good things as well. Find small things that the other person does that you really love, and do some small stuff for them as well. So there's equality there, because you don't necessarily just, you might be the one who takes, because you're afraid that if you let them go, they're gonna just run away. But that's not true. The age-old saying that if you love them, set them free, and if it was true, they're gonna come back, it's always applies. But you can communicate why you're doing what you're doing, that you're trying to change, and you're trying to be your more authentic self, and you're trying to give them room so that they would feel safer in the relationship. And if you're single, I'm definitely feeling that family can tie into two ways. You either have to work on a bit letting go of your attachment to family, even if you really love them, or if you don't love them because there are issues, then you have to work on letting those issues go in a way that they don't affect your current self, so you don't repeat patterns you don't want to. But also do stuff you like just because you like them, because if you can find your passion, if you can become a more lighter person in some sense, you will enjoy life so much more, and you will attract the right kind of people, those kind of people who will want to give you and not just take from you. And yeah, we have the Hangman, which is a sort of interesting face if you look at it. But the Hangman is a position that you put yourself in where you're not truly who you are, because you're not looking at the things the correct way, because you know you're upside down, your point of view is screwed. But the good thing is that usually we put ourselves in this position. And one thing, because we have the family here, it could mean that you're in a position with a family member that you have to take care of them, and that's why, you know, you feel lonely and you just don't feel reciprocated or whatever, because you have to take care of someone in your family, which is completely fine. You just have to know how long that state will last. You have to know how long you're gonna let your life ruled by the need of other people. One of the examples that I can give you is when you're taking care of a sick relative, or when you're a mother, and you know the first few years of a child, that child is really dependent on you, and that is a hangman position in a way, because you put your own life on hold to nurture and take care of this new one. And that's a completely, not just fine, but that's an amazing thing if you do. Not you necessarily, but you know, anybody who does that, who takes care of their child like that. But after a while you have to let them, you know, start separating from you, and you know, work on letting them go a bit. Because if you don't, you're gonna stay in this hangman position for way too long. But the good thing is, oh, I like that. We have a lot of major arcana coming, which is all you have is major arcana. We have the sun. The sun isn't just talking about you know, happiness and harmony, but it also talks about clarity. And I'm feeling that that part of the card is more applicable here, because you're in this hangman position, but you will get that clarity that you need, you know, how you can work on these attachment issues, and how you can work on communication, and you know, finding a receptive an equal relationship better, easier. You will get that information. And you know, birds are very significant. I kind of feel like there's a birds thing going on. So I don't know if you know, that might be a very specific thing, but if a traveling bird, whatever it's called, display comes into town, or anything related to birds, go there, you know, just for this. But for I probably was just one person, but yeah, go there, because there could be something there. But we also have the star, and even though the star comes before the sun in the major arcana, in this I really like it, because with the sun you get that clarity, but with the star you have the hope that things are going to change for the better, and you can find your star that will lead you out of this place, out of this loneliness, where you want to go. And we also have the chariot, which is movement, but moving in a way where you have to work for keeping that chariot on the road, because you know, it's usually pulled by two differently colored, either swings in the original one, or horses. And I like that because it, and I mean, in this card you can kind of see that with these two birds again. But I like that because it reminds us that our intellectual self and our emotional self needs to be in balance for us to move forward. And that's where you need your hope, you know, because you're gonna start moving, which is amazing, awesome. But you have to, you know, keep that hope, that because the road is not going to be immediately easy. You would be too naive. That's why this naivety card is under this card. You would be too naive to think that that change, that because this is a big change, would be happening overnight. It's not going to be. There might be, you know, some side roads that you're gonna accidentally take, or you fall off track. But because we have the strength as the last card, This is a reminder that you're stronger than you think, and you're going to be able to use that inner strength to move forward. And I love that for you, because this is such a beautiful progress from this Hangman, when your power is really out of your hand, you know, you're not where you're supposed to be, and you're reaching this really powerful, strong and just self-confident place. I love that. It's just brilliant. And let's see your astrological cards. We have a Gemini. So yeah, I didn't say that, but we have Leo with the sun, Aquarius with the star. Oh, the Chariot is not entirely sure what the Chariot is. I'm sorry, I'm still learning astrology, so but I'm giving you what I know for sure. And the Strength card also is Leo, so there's definitely a fire sign going on with the Passion as well. That could be you, or you could have a placement in your chart that will be kicked in to high gear in December. But also December is Sagittarius, which is also a fire sign, so a fire sign can be important, or just it's a reminder that you have to work on your passion as well. But so we have Gemini and Libra with these two, and these two are air signs as well. And we have Aquarius, so we kind of collected all the air signs in this one. But with Gemini is curiosity, intellect, and networking. But Gemini also is about communication, which I talked about here. Communication is very important. You have to be clear about what you want, whether you're in a relationship or not. You have to be either clear with other people, but definitely with yourself. And we have Libra, which is consideration, fairness, and harmony. With the sun, harmony definitely. And with the Hangman, be considerate and fair to the situation you're in and other people, but know that it's okay to choose your stuff as well. Okay, this is a very interesting reading. Hope this was useful, and please subscribe, comment down below how it resonated. If you have any, suggestion for a pick a card reading, do let me know. I'm always looking for those, and yeah, share it with other people. That all helps my channel. And see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.